A very good afternoon, my dear friends. Welcome to Super Coaching UPSC by Textbook. So students, today I'm coming up with a very interesting topic about the lack of rainfall, or rather, a right word, the lack of snowfall in our Himalayas, and what consequences it would be having in our lives. Also, about why are the what are the reasons for such kind of things. So, if you have observed in the recent news, you have seen that there was lack of people, so many people who are wanted to see Himalayas with more amount of snow for skiing, for seeing about the snowfall and all. So many billions of hearts have also been broken of unable to see the amount of snowfall, isn't it? In fact, if you have seen this today in the recent weeks of current affairs, you can see that there is not much of snowfall in very popular tourist destination like Gulmarg. Say you can see the January 2024 picture, whereas the same picture last year is having decent amount of snow. Now, what are the reasons for such kind of things? Why do you think that there is no amount of snowfall and this unusually dry period in Kashmir? What could it be leading to? What is the reasons? What are the reasons for such, and what it could be leading to? We have to discuss. So one such thing we need to understand about this is, if you see that the amount of snowfall is drastically reducing. You see the last year's satellite image and this year's satellite image at the same time, January, you can see the white color ones last year, and this year it is very dry. Now, is it the case only with a popular place like Gulmarg? Not just the case. It is the case where everywhere. Say Gulmarg, Pahalgam, Songal, all such kind of things have seen decent amount of lack of snowfall. In fact, Kashmir has reported Kashmir has reported almost around 79 percentage of you see reduction in terms of snowfall. 79% of reduction in snowfall. In fact, it is unusually dry during this time of the year. January, late December, early February usually happens to the time of extreme amount of snowfall in these kind of things, and this is the time where we as a common man wanted to go to Kashmir, enjoy the snowfall, enjoy the skiing, enjoying different views of the mesmerizing Himalayas in the months of winter, isn't it? This is the time. But if you see it in the recent era, you have seen that this kind of snowless Himalayas has increased, and lack of snow in Himalayas. Do you think that it will be only impacting the skiers and the no tourism? Yes, it is. Tourism will be impacted. Tourism will be falling down, but it has much more disastrous consequences than what we expect. Now let us try to explain about each thing about these kind of things. I hope you are all following the trends here. Then one such kind of thing you can see is, have you ever seen this kind of pictures with respect to the Himalayas? Yes, you all might have seen in the popular Shah Rukh Khan movies, isn't it? So in the movies, in the maybe not in the present era, but in the a few decades ago, if you have seen the popular Shah Rukh Khan movies, Himalayas used to be the places where you will be finding all the songs used to be short in this kind of things. These are the places which we call it as alpine meadows. What is a meadow? Meadow is nothing but, say, this is something like a grassland. Okay. Now we all know Himalayas are a range of mountains like range. What if across the range there might be something like a flat land like this? Here you will be finding the grasslands. For example, Gulmarg is also a temperate grassland, isn't it? Because this is part of the temperate part of the world, it is a temperate grassland. It is located in the Pir Panjal range with an altitude of around 3,500 meters. Yes, Gulmarg, maybe the altitude is a bit less, 2800, 2009, somewhere around there. But generally, it is part of the alpine Himalayan meadows, which is nothing but the tropical temperate grasslands. Now, these grasslands are very, very crucial. I was just trying to tell you that this is the grasslands are nothing but the flat lands between two mountain ranges. You can see a big mountain range here, and this is a flat land. This is where you'll find all the grasses. These grasses are very, very important to us in a variety of ways. For example, in summer, you'll find that it is having the beautiful flowers and all, which will be attracting the tourists, right? You can see this another picture which I have shown you. You can see this beautiful picture. This will be the alpine meadows, the alpine meadows. And such kind of alpine meadows, the temperate grasslands, they are known by different names. Say one such popular name we have is the bugyals. Bugyals. Where do we call them bugyals? Please mention in the comment section. Bugyals is mentioned as temperate grasslands in which part of the state in India? Please mention that. Now, if you see these alpine meadows, they're known for these kind of beautiful picturesque photographs in the months of summer, and in the winter, they are known for decent amount of snowfall. Decent amount of snowfall. But this was not the case in this year. There is no snowfall this year, be it in Kashmir, be it in Himachal Pradesh, be it around even Uttarakhand. The amount of snowfall which was reported this year was way, way, way lesser, which has actually disappointed our people, because they have broken, their hearts were broken because they're unable to see the beautiful Kashmir and the beautiful kinds of Himalayan region in the winter. But it has also broken the hearts of the economic, it has a significant economic impact in the region in terms of lack of tourism. But more than tourism, climatologists were worried because snowless Himalayas, these are the centers where you will be finding the glaciers, and this snowfall is actually the ground for breeding ground for the development of the glaciers, and through the glaciers the amount, it is a base for water resources of the country, right? So when you talk about an altitude of 3500 meters, this is the place also will be finding decent amount of glaciers. See, understand, you are talking about Himalayas. In a region like India, say in the plains, when there is condensation, when there is rainfall, that will be happening at a certain time frame, isn't it? But in a region like Himalayas, with the altitude of 3500 meters or more than 3000 meters, when there is precipitation, precipitation occurs in the form of snowfall. Precipitation occurs in the form of snowfall. And this precipitation, which occurs in the form of snowfall, hasn't been reported in December. In fact, that is the reason why we are more worried, because it has an impact on our water resources. So these alpine meadows, they are very, very important because they will be the sources of huge rainfall that will be feeding the glaciers. And these alpine meadows is known for varieties of flora and fauna as well as tourism. So you have an agriculture, it can have an impact on agriculture, the beautiful flora and fauna, the impact on the climate in terms of water resources, whatnot. So these alpine meadows, the snowless Himalayas, particularly in the Gulmarg areas, these are very, very important for our life, not just across the Himalayan states, but also across the plains of our country, right? More than that, as you talk about this, that's what you see, these glaciers. There are so many glaciers which are there in the Himalayas, and from which you have the rivers which originate. For example, you have the Yamunotri glacier, Yamunotri, glacier, you have the Gangotri glacier, right? Back here we have the famous Siachen glacier, the Siachen glacier over here, right? All these glaciers, in fact, along these alpine meadows, you can see here there are big rivers and all. You have the Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj, Yamuna, and all the Ganga and all other tributaries of river Ganga as such. All these are very, very crucial in terms of the glaciers. From these glaciers, the rivers of India, we are getting the water resources, and lack of water resources might also lead to some kind of climate. Lack of water resources will lead to a push on agriculture, and that will directly link with the stability of our economy. Stability of economy. See, that is the thing. You need to worry about the glaciers, the lack of snowfall, water resources, agriculture, and the stability of economy. Yes, on one side we are disappointed with tourism. Tomorrow Shah Rukh Khan cannot go to that place and have a beautiful song there. Yes, that is there. Having said that, along with that, we also have the consequences in this way. So that is what we are worried about. So, right? I think you all are following this. Hope you are able to understand why there is lack of snowfall in Himalayas is having an impact. And as you move forward, why do you think this is happening? Why there is lack of snowfall in Himalayas? Now you have understood the impact, consequences. You have seen the consequences of how there is a relationship. Then understand why the snowfall, snowless Himalayas. What is the reason? Scientists attribute this to simple nothing but climate change. We are seeing the climate has been changing, and in the past few years we have seen that the amount of snowfall has been drastically reduced. What is the source of snowfall in the Himalayas? The source of snowfall in the Himalayas happens to be western disturbances. Source of snowfall is western disturbances. You can see that there is a western disturbances are nothing but these are nothing but disturbances, atmospheric temperate disturbance. These are atmospheric disturbances originating from the extratropical region, like extratropical region, like the Mediterranean region, and giving rainfall to India. So you need to understand about this concept of western disturbances, atmospheric disturbances, extratropical regions. So what are western disturbances? These are nothing but cyclones, temperate cyclones. We can say that temperate cyclones. Okay, temperate cyclones found in the Mediterranean Sea, which are steered towards India, right? You have the Mediterranean Sea here. Beyond this, as we move towards the west, so a disturbance which has occurred in the Mediterranean Sea has been dragged by the winds, the westerly winds, as well as the subtropical westerly jet stream. We have the subtropical westerly jet stream here, which will be dragging this. Because they're coming from the west and this is a disturbance, we are calling it as western disturbances. What is the crucial thing about western disturbances? Usually when they occur during the months of December, January and all, they give heavy snowfall to our part of Himalayas, which is very, very crucial. So these western disturbances were absent this year. The amount, in fact, Indian Meteorological Department wants that there is no such kind of western disturbances even for the next 1 to 2 weeks, at least until January 16th, maybe 1 week from now. And after January 16th, we are expecting some kind of moisture. The lack of moisture in the Himalayan region is attributed to lack of western disturbances. These western disturbances are very crucial for our Rabi season rainfall crops, but This is the thing which is the reason why we are not having this. Okay, so this is very crucial for our Rabi season, but the snowfall is not observed here because of this phenomena, lack of western disturbance. See, understand, this is bringing the moisture. When the moisture is very, very cool, that especially that the water vapor is very, very cool, it will condense in the form of snow, right? Condensation. You have a geographical concept of dew point, right? Dew point. When the dew point is below freezing point, that is below the 0 degrees Celsius, you will see condensation, which is the opposite of evaporation, happens in the form of solid ice. Solid ice is what we call it as, the ice crystals is what we call snowfall. So this snowfall, because the altitude is high, temperatures are low, the precipitation is occurring in the form of solid, and that is what the snowfall is. In fact, the sources of snowfall is western disturbances. These western disturbances are very, very crucial to us. But this snowfall is not there. That is the reason why we are more worried. I think you need to understand that sometimes they can have heavy snowfall, but presently this is a picture taken from a weather report. Maybe that's why they are talking about Sunday, Monday. You can ignore this, right? So this heavy snowfall is the source is western disturbance. This time there is no western disturbance. In fact, often these western disturbances, when you have observed about as per the climate change, as you can see that even in the last year 2022-23, India recorded just 3 intense western disturbances against an average of 4 to 6 intense events every month. See this word, average of 4 to 6 intense events every month. So what we are expecting is, we are expecting that this has to be at least around 4 to 6 events each month. Say January received 5 western disturbances, but only 2 of them were intense. December last, this is talking about 2022 December, received only 1 week western disturbance. Consequently, it was the hottest December on record. That is the thing. You see, these are the months which are very, very crucial for our western disturbances, right? So the reason why we are not finding this is the jet stream, which we have the subtropical westerly jet stream, which brings western disturbances to India. It is shifting northwards during winter, which is reduces the winter precipitation, right? Simple point. Jet stream is shifting northwards of India in winter. Subtropical westerly jet stream shifts north of Himalayas, thereby less moisture. This less moisture is the reason why we are finding lack of rainfall, right? Less moisture is the reason why we are finding no snow. In fact, that is the geography behind the Gulmarg, right? I hope you are able to understand. Simple point we need to, if you wanted to cut it off, no snowfall. Why? No snow precipitation in the winter months. Why there is no precipitation in the winter months? No western disturbances. As simple as that. Now, why do you think that you don't have western disturbances, right? So you see, western disturbances is responsible for the winter rainfall in northwest India is weakening due to a variety of reasons. The reason we are attributing to western disturbances is the hot impact of, or you will find the hottest year. 2023 also happens to be the hottest year, because of which you are finding the events like El Nino and events like El Nino. And we all know what is El Nino. El Nino is nothing but, you'll observe that this is a observations of temperatures in the Pacific Ocean at the coast of Peru. You will observe the temperatures at the coast of Peru. Normally, in the coast of Peru, you will find that there is cold water, there is warm water accumulating at around the West Australian, Northwest Australian coastline, Northeast Australian coastline. This is the warm water which has to be accumulate. But what we observe is, it is having an unusual impact in terms of more temperatures are recorded in the Pacific Ocean at the coast of Peru. This is an El Nino year. This is a normal year. This change of around 3 to 4 degrees Celsius of temperature in the Pacific Ocean is leading to variations of rainfall, leading to variations of climatic events across the world. Why? Why? The reason is very simple. You know, this is the Pacific Ocean. Almost one third of the globe is about the Pacific Ocean. Variations of one third of the globe in terms of temperature will lead to variations of all other elements of weather, be it in terms of the air pressure, be it in terms of the winds, be it in terms of the rainfall. That is what which is leading to such kind of negative impacts. I hope you all are following such kind of things, right? El Nino, right? So the thing, what is the order for now? What have you learned today? You are seeing that there is lack of snowfall in our India. Why that snowfall is important? We have understood, be it in terms of agriculture, stability of economy, water resources, flora and fauna of alpine meadows, or else the tourism which we all love, right? So Gulmarg, one such popular place, we are not finding decent amount of snowfall because of lack of western disturbances. And the western disturbances, we have discussed about that in detail. And also, we have seen that this western disturbances is because of the events of El Nino and what is the other one we had about this thing? El Nino and La Nina. See, what are this El Nino and La Nina? Please understand this. El Nino or La Nina are nothing but it is an oceanic and atmospheric phenomena. Oceanic and atmospheric phenomena. Oceanic and atmospheric phenomena observed in the Pacific Ocean and which is having an impact on climate across the world. Having an impact on climate across the world. Why do you think that is having an impact? That is because you need to see, understand the base. The world is having unequal temperatures because of insolation and the climate change in the present era because of the things. Unequal temperature is the source of all the variations of elements of weather and climate. Temperature, unequal heating, because of this you will be finding variations of pressure. Pressure is varied, you will find movement of winds. Winds are varied, winds with moisture and all has an impact with respect to rainfall or rather here the snowfall. So why all our hearts were broken in the Himalayas? This is the order, right? Temperature, rainfall or snowfall here. The source of snowfall in the Himalayas is the winds. Rather here it is the atmospheric circulation of the jet stream, the western disturbances. These western disturbances originate because of pressure variations and which is originating because of temperature. This temperature is halted by varied by El Nino. Variations of that can have a disastrous impact all across the world. Be it the ultra extreme cyclones which we see in some part like Australia, be it we see some kinds of impacts in terms of things like monsoons in India. All of the things have been attributed towards the weather conditions attributed to changing climatic events. These are very, very crucial. Please understand what is the significance of alpine meadows and all such kind of concepts. These are frequently repeated topics in the exam of UPSC civil services because it is impacting our life directly or if not, if you don't know, indirect way. I hope you all have understood this. For more such information, you can get into my Telegram channel. You will get the PDF file of this and also some kind of MCQ practice and also a question on this topic which I'll be discussing in the free masterclass in the textbook app. For more such information, you can get into my Telegram channel where you can also interact with me. Any doubts you have, any things you have, you can always come directly to my Telegram channel, right? Moving forward, and definitely if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and also share this video to your friends so that they will also be learning. And until we come with another interesting topic, thank you. Goodbye.